because then everybody is free to leave if they want to, which means the government has to treat us a lot better if they know we can leave, especially, the entrepreneurs, the wealthy people that would be subject to this tax. If they could leave, they might leave unless we lower taxes, which is what we should do. But we need a smaller government. The whole idea that, somebody should have to pay this tax if they leave. I mean, first of all, you only pay taxes because you're a citizen and you're enjoying the privileges of being an American citizen. Once you decide you don't want to be a citizen anymore and you leave the country, why should you be responsible for paying the taxes anymore, right? You're going to pay the taxes of wherever you move to. You shouldn't have to pay the taxes of the country you left. Pay the taxes of the country that you move into, right? Because now you're there, right? So you should support the government that you're living under, not the government that you decided to leave. But, there are some people that think, well, you can't make a lot of money in this country and then leave with all the gains. Well, why not? I mean, first of all, people that make a lot of money pay a lot of taxes while they're making that money. It's not like they didn't pay their fair share. But if I've amassed a large fortune and I leave, I don't owe the country anything. I worked hard for that fortune. I made the fortune, and I made the fortune by enriching others. Remember, that's how capitalism works. You get rich by enriching everybody who voluntarily does business with you. It's not like, hey, you made a lot of money, so you got to give something back when you leave. It's not like you ever took anything out. You don't get rich by taking out. You get rich by putting in. The money you make is a reflection of the work that you did, of the effort you put in, of the benefits that society derived from your work. People voluntarily purchased your products or your services because it improved their lives, and it improved them by more than the cost. Otherwise, they wouldn't have voluntarily bought it. So you don't owe anybody anything when you leave. If you decide you don't want to live in the country anymore, then you could go. And once you've left, you have no further obligation to pay taxes. And if you have a lot of unrealized gains and you didn't realize them while you still lived in the country, if you realize them after you left, well, that's too bad for the government doesn't get that money. They should have treated you nicer. They should have made it so you stayed, right? If they make it so you want to go, well, then they lose that tax revenue. And that's really where all this exit tax came from, right? Wealthy people decided they wanted to leave, and the government wanted to make it harder for them to do that. I don't want it. I want it easy to leave, because if it's easy to leave and the government knows that, well, then they've got to be more responsible. They've got to keep taxes low enough so that people aren't going to want to leave, right? That's what you want. That's why all these governments always want to shut down all the tax havens, right? I like the tax havens because they keep government smaller. It's competition. If the government knows that you could leave, they have to treat you good. If they know your money can leave, they have to treat your money good. So this is a very important case for a lot of reasons. The Moore case was another case on apportionment. That didn't go the way I hoped, although 2 justices voted that it was unconstitutional. But this is even simpler than the Moore case, because in the Moore case, the corporation had realized the income, and the IRS said, well, we're going to attribute that realized gain to the shareholders, right? And the court bought that argument. I think the majority was wrong. I still don't think it's income, but at least there was a realization on the part of the corporation. But with the exit tax, there's no realization by anybody. No income has been realized at any level. It's just a pure property tax measured by the amount that the property is appreciated. But the way they measure the tax doesn't change the nature of the tax. It's a direct tax on your property. And if it's not apportioned, it's unconstitutional. And it wasn't apportioned, it is unconstitutional. So let's have the justices rule this way, reinforce the fact that we can never have a wealth tax in this country or a tax on unrealized gains. This case will force the court to rule on that. They wiggled out of it with the Moore case. So this is a very important case.